Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic:
people who had traumatic childhoods. What's something you do as an adult that you hadn't realized was a direct result of the trauma? Serious. NSFW. Attention. Serious. Tag notice. Jokes, puns, and off-topic comments are not permitted in any comment. Parent or child. Parent comments that aren't from the target group will be removed, along with their child replies. Report comments that violate these rules. Posts that have few relevant answers within the first hour. And posts that are not appropriate for the serious tag will be removed. Consider doing an ARMA request instead. Thanks for your cooperation and enjoy the discussion. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit if you have any questions or concerns. Asking for permission to do literally anything. Double checking that I was doing the right thing. And always second guessing myself. Like to an abnormal level. Yep. I'm 33 years old. Make 6 figures. And when me and my husband are out running errands on the weekend, I will ask his permission to go use the bathroom or to buy a drink or anything. It's ridiculous. And I know if people hear me doing it, they will likely assume he's abusive. But nope. Just 18 years living with an abusive father. My husband does the exact same thing. We do well financially. We can buy anything we want at the grocery store, for instance. But he asks, and it breaks my heart to think of him as a teenager having to literally dumpster dive when he came to the US. Another hard factor is that he, doesn't take yes for an answer, or oversells the need for XYZ item or watching ABC movie, because he was never affirmed or given any agency. I think it still surprises him when I remind him that we can watch garbage TV and have a boba tea for dinner. I'm trying to give him a good childhood in his middle age. I realized I'm toxically independent. I have an extremely hard time asking for help because I never had it. Exact same here. My mindset is I'd rather learn how to do it myself than inconvenience someone else with it. Good in some ways because I've learnt a lot of new skills, terrible in other ways. For me, it's also that I wouldn't stoop or demean myself by asking for help and putting myself at the mercy of others almost. It's so stupid, as I would never begrudge helping others. And I always try to be a good person myself. Really want to be someone who is kind and considerate to others. So I should assume most people are exactly the same, but I clearly don't. I can't get over the fact that my childhood didn't have that though. You learn to be independent and tough and prove you didn't need anyone so you couldn't get hurt or be weak. If you are upset or sad, you keep it to yourself, as showing sadness is showing that others have power over you. By keeping it to yourself, it's somehow less embarrassing maybe. It's really tough to shake that mentality, and I worry that my son sees it in my husband and I, and thinks it's normal as we have similar upbringings and I guess are quite cold and tough maybe even. Though inside things kill me sometimes and I feel like a lost little girl. We want him to have the loving, supportive environment we never did, and I don't ever want him to feel he has to hide his feelings or worry about asking for help. I do not prioritize myself, be it health, time, or necessities. Everyone else in my life is ahead of me in the queue. This makes me seem incredibly helpful. Being helpful allows me to be present without being a target. Being helpful allows me to avoid my own problems because I'm too busy helping everyone else with theirs. Being helpful allows me to feel valuable instead of expendable. The only time I ever really take care of myself is if I know it will impact my ability to take care of someone else. It's the only way I've found to make healthier choices, and it's still barely enough. I just started a full-blown burnout exactly for that reason. Work, home, family illness, COVID, deaths, everything in the past 3 to 4 years had made me completely erase myself and care for everyone else but me. I finally snapped when my dad entered palliative care end of March. I got to spend many weeks by his side as much as possible. Still sort of neglecting myself, but for a good and temporary reason. Now that he's passed, I'm slowly realizing how deep that pattern has been affecting me for years. I don't know how to start being better to myself. Each step feels like I'm going against every fiber of my survival instincts. I feel like each time I value my own needs, I'm letting everyone down. It's hard. Start by buying yourself a treat at the store when you go grocery shopping. Keep it in the top part, where you put the bread and eggs, or a small child if you have those. So you can look at it the whole shopping trip. I want this. I deserve this. Look at me with my lil snacky snack. Ooh, it's gonna be so good when I get back to the car. Then you go up a level and get something you've wanted asterisk for a while that's inexpensive. A fruit you'd been wanting to try. New makeup. A squishmallow. Or take a long bath instead of a shower. Spend an extra 5 minutes in bed after your alarm. Start with small wants and work your way up. It'll get easier to identify the things you need to do for yourself by recognizing the wants. I keep saying sorry to every little inconveniences or any time I feel like I'm bothering someone. This coupled with the fact that I feel like my existence is bothering. And no one can stay friends with me for too long without wanting to leave. Something I do that I recently learned other people don't do is constantly pay attention to my surroundings. I listen for footsteps, doors opening and closing, people's voices, water running in the pipes, cars pulling into the driveway, on and on. As a kid I needed to know who was in my house and what they were doing. I'm the same way. My hypervigilance has led to a kind of super hearing where I hear things long before other people. Like sirens or a car with a loud stereo bass. Unfortunately this makes having quiet, peaceful times damn near impossible. For that, I need to put in earbuds and noise-cancelling earmuffs, but then I hear my heartbeat. At least that noise is mine. I do get anxiety with certain noises. Like when the kids outside my apartment are screaming like they are being murdered, or constant tapping or thumping, like a loud stereo bass. It's like water torture to my brain. The irony of my hypervigilance is that I have some hearing problems. Mostly with people talking to me but not when hearing things in my surroundings. So that hearing loss kinda does a weird feedback loop that accentuates my hypervigilance. It sucks.